Alright guys, and welcome to the Chapter 94 review of Dragon Ball Super Manga. So this is the Chapter 94 Get Your Head in the Game Son Gohan. And I'm not going to read through the whole thing, but I am going to skim through it. I'm going to make some points to it, and give my overall opinion of it. Now, it's been like 2 weeks, so like I said, this is just a review. It's probably nothing amazing to other people. I'll give some random insight into the next couple chapters come the end of the video. But let's just kind of break into it. Now, I'm just going to post random panels of the manga. I'm not going to post all of the pages, or any pages almost for that matter. Mostly because certain companies are very disgusting in the way that they handle their fans and trying to, yeah. Anyways, opinions. Moving on. So, these are just going to be random slides in the chapter, so by all means, just kind of listen in on this one. But, Chapter 94, Get Your Head in the Game. The chapter starts off with pretty much the exact same thing as the movie. So in all honesty, if you've seen the movie, once again, there's not really any difference in here. We pretty much have Pan having her moment with the Red Ribbon security guard. I will say in the manga, there are certain like key aspects that they can make. It's like little details, you know? There's little details in the way that they can set up the panel that just hits a little different than what the movie can. Like when she gut punches the guard, it's just like they can make it so much more dramatic in this manga panel than they can in the actual like movie, just because it's like it's so impactful that you can see it for longer, you know. Rather when it's in the movie, it's just kind of instantaneous and then it's gone. Whereas here, you can actually enjoy the humor out of it. It's like, oh, that's a stranger. Screw you. It just punches him. It's hilarious. But moving on from that, there's a couple little in-betweens, a little couple side spots that are actually really nice paneling. I kind of enjoy it, and I really do wish that they would like maybe redo part of the movies. Like, add in all these extra bits that they could have added in, all the little bit of extra details with, like, the cop, noticing that he's picking up Videl's daughter. It's very nice little bits. And they, of course, this is pretty much almost one for one the movie. There's almost no difference whatsoever. I do enjoy the bit with Piccolo just getting along with Pan almost so much more than I really do feel like he just gets along with Pan. I feel like Piccolo gets along with Pan more than he does Gohan. It's kind of hilarious, really. She's like this, she's a little demon, and I think it makes him like a proud pseudo father. And it's just hilarious to witness all of the little panels. It's honestly great. Honestly, pages 8 and 9 are some of my favorite parts of this entire chapter. Really, truly, chapter 8 and 9 are just some of my favorite. But we pretty much see one for one kidnapping, threatening Gohan. Really good paneling, really good artwork by Toyotaro. It really gave me some chills when he gets all mad about Pan being kidnapped. Like, what'd you do to my Pan? And it's just hilarious. I love it. And the little side-off panels, they really do capture what happens in the movie very greatly in this chapter. As I said, though, if you don't appreciate the manga, if you don't appreciate, well, okay, I'm not gonna say it. That's rude. My bad. Back up. If you can't appreciate the manga in the same sense as others can, like, not everybody likes manga, and I understand that. That's fine. That's why anime is a thing. That's why adaptions are a thing. That's why it's a thing. And honestly, this is the reverse order of adaptions. Usually it's the other way around. You know, usually movies and TV shows and anime, they all adapt from the manga. But in this case, it's the opposite. The manga is adapting from the movie, and I think it does very well. In all honesty, I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. But you can really see a lot of the effort they did put into these panels to make it feel like it's straight up out of the movie. And I kind of wish they would do that with the rest of the manga. Like, I wish that they would take the time to think, okay, this is how it would play out in the anime when we animate it, so I'm going to emphasize that and put it into the manga. I wish they would do it that way, because that's the way it feels like they've done it through these chapters. And I feel like that's probably the better way to go. Visually, it is a comic, you know? Visually, you need to capture people. And sometimes some of these other chapters previously, before they started the Super movie adaptation, it wasn't really hitting for me completely. It was nice, but it still wasn't hitting me completely like it is right now. But once again, this is after seeing the movie and so forth. But we got the rain scene with Gohan showing up. Really nice, really good. They did really well with him entering the picture. It was pretty well done. I think it kind of like got rushed a little bit. I'm still trying to get used to how Gamma 1 and 2 are being drawn. It almost feels like Gamma 1 and 2 are just such a funky design that they drew him really weird. I don't know. Gamma 1 and 2 just look kind of weird to me in manga form. I don't know why. They just look kind of funky. So, but I mean, the panels are really good. Aside from a couple things. The little witty in-between panels between Gammas 1 and 2, and a lot of the really putting from the movie. Like, it really looks really good. The whole fight scene is great. And even my favorite part, I'm not even kidding you, my favorite part of the movie was watching Gamma 1 get smacked down, and he's just on the ground, laying there, and then all of a sudden he's just, eyes wake up, and he just flings his entire body forward with a giant headbutt. I love that. That's my favorite part. That's my favorite move of Gamma 1. I love it. It's hilarious to me. I always love the counter animation in Dokkan, and I love watching that part of the scene. I think it did pretty as well as it possibly could in a manga paneling. I don't feel like that's something that you could do absurdly well. It's just something that if you saw it actually happen in fluid motion, it's just a completely different feel than watching it in manga panels. But otherwise, really good fighting animations, really good panels, really good. I'll be honest, I don't even remember seeing Magenta in the movie during this scene. Like, he's either just that tiny and I don't notice him, or I just don't notice him. But they have one little tiny bit of panel where he shows up, or he's in there. There's like two. I think there's like two spots, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, Magenta's in literally 4 panels, and I just hardly noticed that he's even there, in all honesty. 5, 6. He's in a couple panels. He's just so tiny. I don't notice him. I would get shot if I was anywhere near Red Ribbon Army Base. But we have the whole fight scene out with Gamma 1 and 2, or Gamma 1 and Gohan. The one thing I will say is, I feel like, I don't know, the fight between Gohan and Gamma 1 are very back and forth. It's very kind of back and forth. Like, there's really good spots, and then there's kind of meh spots overall. But once again, I think it's just attempting to adapt from the movie into the manga panels is just kind of difficult on some occasions. But then in a lot of other spots, it's actually really good. It's actually really good. Really good paneling. The one part that still, at this point, just doesn't hit the same, even with how well they did the paneling, is when he just blows up and just the sky just totally dissipates the freaking rain and the dark clouds, and then just boom, the sun shining down, and then there's Ultimate Gohan. And like, that's the end of the chapter right there, pretty much. But it just does not hit the same, if that makes sense. It doesn't hit the same. I wish it did, but it doesn't hit the same. But that's just, that's from a movie perspective. Once again, if someone had come along and read the manga before they actually watched the movie and the anime, I feel like this would hit dramatically differently. And the other thing is, if I was reading along the entire book and I got to this point, and that was like the end of the book, like the volume, I think that'd be a fantastic. I like honestly when they put this into the manga form, I feel like this would be like the perfect endpoint for it. It's just really great. But yeah, no, really good manga paneling. I will definitely say that. As an end note, I'm not gonna get too much further into this. It's already been 10 minutes. So my review of it's probably not what everybody would expect, and and that's fine. You don't have to take my opinion seriously because it's just my opinion, and that's all I want to give. But personally speaking, my review of this chapter 94 is straight up an 8 out of 10. I feel like that is a good score. It adapts the movie very greatly. It is a very good adaptation, in my opinion. The 2 points that I'm down on it is that it's nothing new. There's nothing new in here. There's literally nothing new in this entire chapter. There's nothing new in the chapter, which is fine. There doesn't have to be anything new, but it's pretty much a 1-for-1 adaptation of the movie, and you can't be wrong with that. And I love the movie, every bit of it. I pretty much enjoyed the crap out of it. So the score is mostly not a perfect 10 just because it's nothing new. There was no surprises. It's just, if you've watched the movie, you already know what happens. Whereas there's been a couple points in some of the previous chapters where it's been like, yeah, here's a little surprise for you. There's a little bit of something there. There isn't in this one. This one's pretty much the exact 1-for-1. There's almost no differences. There's a couple key differences. Very small. Very small. You won't even notice it unless you just watch the movie, in all honesty. Some of the things that do pop up, you wouldn't have even remembered, in all honesty. Unless you got like an eidetic memory or something like that. But anyways, I do want to touch up on one more thing. Once I can get the window pulled up here. Buttons. Okay. So this is a post by Miss Penico, and I just wanted to point out the fact that we are at about roughly the 41-minute mark of, or the 50, almost a whole hour into the movie at this point, which is, is really great, and that there's about 41 minutes left to adapt. And I pretty much agree with this lineup right here. I think Chapter 95, we're going to see Piccolo versus Gamma 2, obviously. But my thing is, they might be able to drag this out excessively. I hope they don't. But I think it's possible if they want to add something new to it. I think they can 100% do that. But Piccolo versus Gamma 2, and then of course the Cell Max Awakening will probably be right at the dead end. Like, you just see him slap the button or something, and you see the smoke and everything start to pour out. That might be where it ends off. But there's honestly, 95 would be a really short chapter, just be a lot of fight scenes. Like, because there's not much that happens after this. After this, it pretty much escalates very quickly. But 96, Fighters versus Cell Max, and then Gamma 2 Sacrifice. I don't believe that 96 is... So here's the thing. 95, yes, I believe 95 will be exactly this. The Cell Max Awakening and Gamma and Piccolo 2. Or Gamma 2 and Piccolo. 96, however, I feel like is going to be both what he has here. He or she has what she has for this part right here. I believe this is going to be one whole chapter right here. I think they're going to fast forward because, I mean, it's all just fighting panels pretty much from this point on. There's not much left. There's not much left to really focus into actual words that they can really drag out. I mean, they'd have to really hardcore drag it out, in all honesty. I think what we'll see in 96, so 95 is going to pop out in July. 95 is going to be July. I think 96 and 97 right here are actually just going to be 96 out in August. And then I think they're going to wrap it up in September. and then I 110% believe that they're going to take a big break. So even if this goes exactly the way that she has this panned out here for 4 months here, I still 100% believe we're going to have at least a 1 month break, and then come December, because this is only 4 months. So 95 will be July, 96 will be August, 97 will be September, and then 98 will be October. And then I believe no matter what, November will at least be a break time for the artists. It's either November or December will be, and we're just going to be left off with, hey, look forward to the next year, basically, is what they're going to do. But I could be wrong. I could be very wrong for all I know. But I really do feel like Piccolo loses and Beast Gohan versus Cell Max and Gamma 2 Sacrifice and Fighters versus Cell Max is all going to be in one single chapter. There's no way it's not. I'm sorry. I mean, they can really push the Gamma 2 Sacrifice if they so wish, but honestly, that's going to be the majority of that chapter, in my opinion, because there's not much to animate. There's not much to throw into manga panels. So, but anyways, guys, what do you think of the chapter 94? What did you think? Or did you even read it yet? Personally, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I look forward to the next chapter next month on the 20th, or around the 20th is when the new chapters always drop. I'm sorry this is so late. There's just been a lot of stuff going on. But anyways, hope you have a good day and a good night.